a squishy apple. B is for ball. Let's squash a squishy ball. C is for cat. Let's squash a squishy cat. D is for dog. Let's squash a squishy dog. Squash, squash, squishy fun, squashing things one by one. E is for egg. Let's squash a squishy egg. F is for fish. Let's squash a squishy fish. G is for goat. Let's squash a squishy goat. H is for hat. Let's squash a squishy hat. Squash, squash, squishy fun, squashing things one by one. I is for igloo. Let's squash a squishy igloo. J is for jam. Let's squash a squishy jam. K is for kite. Let's squash a squishy kite. L is for lamp. Let's squash a squishy lamp. Squash, squash, squishy fun, squashing things one by one. M is for moon. Let's squash a squishy moon. N is for nest. Let's squash a squishy nest. O is for octopus. Let's squash a squishy octopus. P is for pig. Let's squash a squishy pig. Squash, squash, squishy fun, squashing things one by one. Q is for queen. Let's squash a squishy queen. R is for rabbit. Let's squash a squishy rabbit. S is for sun. Let's squash a squishy sun. T is for turtle. Let's squash a squishy turtle. Squash, squash, squishy fun, squashing things one by one. U is for umbrella. Let's squash a squishy umbrella. V is for van. Let's squash a squishy van. W is for whale. Let's squash a squishy whale. X is for X-ray. Let's squash a squishy X-ray. Squash, squash, squishy fun, squashing things one by one. Y is for yo-yo. Let's squash a squishy yo-yo. Z is for zebra. Let's squash a squishy zebra. Squash, squash, squishy fun, we squashed it all. Now we're done.